wrong way in which many humans think about problems, where they believe what they want to believe. They believe in pleasant narratives rather than believing in ugly truth in certain situations. That, if something is going wrong at a bank, for example, and the bank sets up a front person with a great reputation, like to give the example of my old bank and former Fed chief Paul Volcker, who supposedly was the shareholder, that the bank would, journalists told me this, that when they caught Russian Mafia money going through the bank, they would ask the bank about this, and the bank would respond that it's impossible this could be happening because the shareholder of the bank is Paul Volcker. He's the most honest person in the world. They even had a stack of books by Paul Volcker, like in the office at the bank, and they would hand a book to the journalist and say, look, this is the famous Paul Volcker, who is our shareholder. And this would throw off the journalists, and it worked, but it wouldn't throw off an AI. I mean, if an AI saw that the Russian mob's money was going through the bank, and they wouldn't care, the AI would not care that Paul Volcker was supposedly the shareholder. I mean, it would just say, look, the Russian mob money is going through this bank, and that's it. And we don't care who's on the board of directors or who are the shareholders or how many lobbyists they hired in Washington. I mean, what we see is that this is what's actually happening. So if it strips out some of the human biases, maybe it's good.
It sounds quite similar to the whole Bernie Madoff kind of Madoff securities situation, where Bernie Madoff, very distinguished, very well-known financier. Brother was, I believe, chairman of the SEC in the US. These guys were, for all extensive purposes, these guys were the purity of the financial system. And yet there he was within Madoff Securities running one of the biggest Ponzi schemes that we saw in modern times. So yes.
Money.
Pardon?
Sure. By the way, I'm not saying Volcker is a crook. I think they used his name without him knowing it. But he was actually very old also. He was, he's died since then, but I sense that he was in his late 80s and was most of the time in a hospital at the time that the bank in Latvia was boasting that because of him, they couldn't be laundering money. So, but I'm not saying that Volcker is a criminal in any way. I think he didn't know. But anyway, it was a very strong human bias that apparently worked. Or to say that, oh, this is not a Russian bank, this is an American bank, because you see right here, Paul Volcker is the shareholder.
Yeah.